All right, it's now time to bring you today's closing details of trading activities at the Nigerian Stock Exchange or the Nigerian Exchange Limited. Now, joining me now live via phone to analyze market figures is a financial analyst and stockbroker, ROTIMI FAKAYEJO, as well as TVC News Markets editor, Effiong EKOP, who joins me live in the studio. Effiong, let's have analysis of trades today.
We've seen markets ups and downs. This week, positive trades we've recorded 2 days now, because today it's positive. And so the market's character actually showed sort of against the backdrop of positive trades that we had throughout last week that threw up nearly 7%. And that's got investors, to run for profit taking between Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So today now, the market is coming on the back of achievement by Access Bank, Adova, then RT Briscoe, FCMB. Those are the ones that lifts trading transactions, and by every measure, there are big cap securities at the exchange, and they take attention anytime they move in a particular direction. Then the trading volume, we have just about 96 million units valued a little above 4 billion. That's a good trade in any day, considering the economic situation that we have now. But if you talk about the characteristics of the market that we've had in recent times, it's been that of great caution. Cautious trading in the sense that investors have to marry activities in the market to the general economic outlook, out there. Right now, this week, you've seen the problem of the petroleum sector. And it's going on. We don't even know when that will be solved. There seems
to be no end in sight.
Yes. So that alone, if you put in a basket, it scares an investor. You talk about the exchange rate that is not stable. You talk about the inflation that is hitting hard on our savings and our earnings. A lot of things, seem to be attacking those who want to play in the stock market. If you ask me to judge, I would think that those who are really going for securities at the exchange now are very, very courageous. Because if they were not courageous enough, they would not, venture into it. It is a risky, zone. The economy, right? The uncertainty, very, very,
It takes a lot of courage to invest in countries like Nigeria, of course. So let's get the view of ROTIMI FAKAYEJO. He's a financial analyst and stockbroker, and he joins us via the phone lines. Good afternoon, ROTIMI. Give us the situation report at the Nigeria Exchange.
To corroborate what Ekong has said, the investors out there are very courageous. And I think the major reason for that is there is hardly any other investment destination right now that is more assuring than the Nigerian equity market, at least within the Nigerian investment space. And I think the courageous investors are, we also call them wise investors, because whatever is the situation is, we are still going to have the market going, and if not in the middle, but much later, much stronger. And at the same time, too, I think the market has done really well with the kind of rebound that we have seen in the last 2 weeks, because we saw the market, the ocean come to as low as 44,000 plus basis points. And right now is the reverse is the case. And what we are seeing is really, really appealing and very interesting. So for me, I believe that for this week, the market has done well. And looking at the various sectors, the banking sectors have really added value. And I think basically we may not be seen otherwise for now, because if we will have seen to the contrary, I think that would have been very apparent. But I just hope that the polity will not be heated too much to such an extent that people will get more scary. There won't be a sell down or a sell off, but we're going to see a practical disinterestedness in the market, whereby investors may not really participate much. So whatever may be available, we may trickle down the price to an extent, but at the same time, I believe that the market has come to stay. And to corroborate Effiong again, investors are really courageous, and I give them kudos for it.
Yes, investors are really courageous. But looking at the outlook of 2023, what do you think? How do you think the market will fare?
Well, I think the uncertainty will still be very much in the air in the first quarter. We see some shenanigan movement in the first month of the year, which is usually the trend. And but depending on the activities that precede the electioneering, and if there is not too much anxiety in the air, if there is not too much violence, and if the politicians behave themselves, then definitely, for what we have seen in the last 3 quarters for the quoted companies, I think the markets may maintain an uptick. But the election is the only thing that is the major variant in this, and it can be a major determinant in which direction the market will go.
All right, financial analyst and stockbroker ROTIMI FAKAYEJO, thank you so much for talking to us.
You're welcome.
Now, Effiong EKOP, you seem to agree with this stand.
I am in complete agreement with Mr. FAKAYEJO. Yes, that investors now, they show courage, the way they back cheap stocks that are available. And again, that the outlook, after the first quarter of next year, we are likely going to have a long cycle of boom in the market. So it is only the election that holds the key to whether we trade in the positive territory for long or the negative, or even stay flat. Okay. Those conditions are outside the control of the market, in fact, market operators. It is now left in the hands of the government and the politicians. So whatever they can do, if they really wish to help the economy to grow and create the job that majority of them are touting, then they will go to the polls and do very good election, fair, free, and then credible. Then when the winner or the set of winners, emerge, you will see the market reacting in a correct manner that everyone knows, he or she will be rewarded.
All right, Effiong EKOP, market editor, TVC News, thank you so much.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.